Hello there, welcome back to Pin Cut Sew. I'm Nikki and I'm very excited about the sew along tutorial of sorts I have for you today. I have just listed a brand new pattern in my shop and it is for Christmas. I know right now it's only October, I don't know when you're watching this, but if you ever wonder why the craft stores put Christmas stuff out so early, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. So this pattern is for this Nativity playset. It comes with the carrying bag that doubles as the stable that can be set up behind the characters when your little ones play with them. All of the characters stand up, so they're easy to play with, little sheep even, and the camel. And today I'm going to show you how to make one of the characters. I'm going to make another one of these kings. So before we get started, make sure you go grab your pattern from my shop. I will link it below and I will also link it in the first comment and probably anywhere else that I can so that you can find it easily. And yours will come with printable instructions, step-by-step photos, all of the pattern pieces. It's very thorough. I try to make all my patterns pretty beginner friendly. But if you do need more of a visual tutorial than the printable version provides, that's why I make the videos. So today we're going to make another king. You need scraps of fabric. For the kings, I like to use satin, but linen, cotton, anything like that. This is a double gauze for baby Jesus. Little scraps of skin tone fabrics, scraps of felt in the decent hair colors. You need little beady eyes for the kings or for the men, and then embroidery floss for the ladies and baby Jesus, also for the camel. You need some stuffing, and then you need some rice or beanbag filling. This is what makes them stand up so easily. I wanted to make the characters not frustrating for little ones to play with. This was inspired by the Little People nativity set that my kids used to have when they were little. They loved it so much. It was so cute. Okay, you also need some little trims for the king. I like this gold sequin trim. Have some little gold for the angel's halo, and then these are just rickracs and ribbons that I had. You also need some, this is called fusible web. You can buy it in the yard by the interfacings, or in the Notion section, it comes like in sheets. But this basically turns your fabric into a sticker. So that's how we attach the faces. And then we glue on the felt pieces. And for that job, I like tacky glue. This is my favorite brand of craft glue because it dries clear. It's not bumpy. It doesn't smush. And it just doesn't make a mess. Avoid using hot glue. People go towards hot glue for craft projects all the time, but it's actually not the best for fabric in general, but especially with felt because it just makes a mess. You can't get it off. Once it's on there, it's on there. And you have to hurry. And I don't feel like when I'm placing little pieces, I want to be in a hurry about it. Okay, and of course you need your pattern. So once you have your pattern, let's get started. I'm going to cut two of my person out of my fabric. This is my prototype pattern. Yours will have fancy words and instructions on there. Okay, once you have that cut out, we're actually not going to cut the face out of our skin tone fabric. We're going to cut it out of, we're going to trace it onto a piece of fusible web. Let me get my paper scissors. Oh, right here the whole time. It might be helpful if you're going to make all the characters to cut the pattern pieces, these main ones, out of thin cardboard like a cereal box. So then it's easier to trace them. Okay, I'm tracing this onto the smooth side of my fusible web. The bumpy side is the glue side. So I'm tracing it on the front. The smooth side. So now I'm going to find a face color that I want. I think I'm going to use the same skin tone and beard color that I used for this wise man because it makes him look aged. And you know, wisdom comes with age. Using dark skin tones because biblical accuracy, you know. Okay, so I'm going to press this on. If you're using a fabric with a wrong side and a right side, you want to press it on the wrong side. It's almost too small. I'm going to cut roughly around this. I'm going to iron it down onto the wrong side of my skin tone fabric. Okay, let that cool. And then I can go ahead and cut it out on the line. Alrighty. Now you can remove the paper backing. And now the sticky side is on the back of my fabric. So I'm going to use my template as a guide and iron my face right onto the front of my wise man. Okay, that is stuck. It is not going anywhere. Next is to attach the eyes before we sew him together. For the women and the angel and Jesus, you would embroider the face. The pattern comes with the face templates. But for the men, we're going to hand sew the eyes on first. I like to first cut out my hair just so I know where to place the eyes. Your pattern comes with a face template for all of the eyes placement. But even still, I'm just going to cut out my hair just in case. I forgot to cut out my little hairpiece. Okay, so I'm just going to trace these. You can just use a Sharpie. Sometimes you can use a pencil, and sometimes on dark fabrics, you can use a white gel pen. That's really handy. And then when I glue them on, I'll glue them on with the marker side down, just in case some of it shows. The pattern comes with 3 beard shapes for you to choose from. I'm going to pick the shorter one for this guy. I have these great little Fisker scissors. I'll link you to these because they're really useful for small things like this. They're very sharp. They have a nice point. Okay. So let me place my hair and beard, and then I'll know where I want my beads. I think I'll just mark them with my pencil. Don't put them too far apart. That tends to look silly. Okay. I have pre-threaded a needle. Just going to stitch my beads on very quickly. Just 1 stitch through each bead is sufficient. Okay, once those face elements are down, we can sew our little person together. Move my hair and beard aside so I don't lose them. Okay, so we're going to sew these right sides together. We're going to leave an opening for turning. The pattern piece directs you exactly where. We don't want it to be too close to this bottom because we're going to box these corners, and it doesn't need to be very big. Like, that's fine. We're going to go sew along the bottom edge and around the entire body, but we're going to leave the box corners open, and we're going to leave our opening right here. So I'm going to go stitch this in a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around my person. Now we need to box the corners because this is what's going to give them a rectangular base to stand on. So to do that, and this is pretty tiny, but I will show you the best I can. You need to pull apart the layers. Pull apart the layers and bring the seams to meet each other. I'm going to finger press the seams open the best that I can. Definitely trickier with satin. If you're brand new, you might want to stick with the cottons at first. Okay, so I'm going to open my seams. I'm going to go stitch this corner from folded edge to folded edge. See, my seams are meeting each other. Okay, see, just like so. I already did the other side. So now I'm going to have a nice rectangular base for my king. All right, now it's time to turn him right side out. Okay, if you need to smooth him out with a chopstick, you can. So now it's time to stuff him. First, we're going to put some stuffing into the top half. But before we stuff the bottom, we're going to insert some rice. So I have this small 1/2 teaspoon. You want to make sure the rice lands at the bottom and doesn't get shifted up toward the belly or the top. So shake some rice down in there. Get the stuffing out of the way. You need to put about 2 teaspoons of rice until the bottom of him is filled about 1/2 inch. Beanbag filling is fine for this too. I've never had an issue with rice, but you know, you can't get it wet. But if you feel like that's going to be a problem, use beanbag filling. Otherwise, you'll have soft, half-cooked rice inside of your toys. Okay, then making sure the rice stays on the bottom, we're going to finish stuffing. Okay, now it's time to sew our opening closed. Already threaded a needle. Look how prepared I am today. I'm going to ladder stitch our opening closed as invisibly as we can. Okay, knot twice, hide the tail, and snip. Okay, so the sewing part is done. Now we just need to glue on his accessories. First we're going to glue the beard, then the hair on top, and then we'll glue on his gold headband. Okay, I like this tacky glue because you don't have to rush. My mom used to make puppets for a puppet ministry at church, and she discovered tacky glue, and that's the brand I've been using ever since. So it's 30 years proven. Okay, so the beard goes right under the eyes. I think she experimented with hot gluing the eyeballs on the puppets because they were big googly eyes, and the hot glue melted the backs of the googly eyes. So solutions had to be found. Okay, now I'm just going to cut a piece of the gold trim. I just cut enough to fit around him. This looks like a crown. Then I'm going to apply glue to the entire strip. It's okay if I get my hands messy because it's not hot glue. I'm going to put it in the middle, turn, and finish lapping the ends. Okay, and then I'll just let that dry. There's my king. Now I have two kings. The Bible doesn't actually say there were three, but maybe I should make a third because I bought another color of satin because I couldn't decide. So there you go. I really hope y'all enjoy this pattern if you buy it. It was one of my favorites so far that I've created. And I just think it's so fun and so cute. Something that will be an heirloom, I hope, in your house for years to come. I'm sure I'll be back next week with more fun sewing projects or inspiration. So be sure and subscribe so you don't miss that. And I'll see you soon. Bye.